Okay, so fam, right now I'm talking with a friend of mine who's also a client of mine, and we're talking about self-confidence, self-efficacy, and self-worth. All right. And so I don't want to get into detail, her personal detail, on why we're starting to discuss this. But I thought this was so worth everyone hearing because it's important. I think right now we just right. We had a mind-blowing, like, it's only been 16 minutes that we've been on. So this is what I was talking with Shalina about. When we don't have high self-efficacy, so I'm going to explain self-efficacy. That's when you've done something. So when you have done something and you've done it to success, you build your self-efficacy. So what you think you can do, right? So you believe you can do it. When you have high self-efficacy in something, it builds your self-confidence in it. That self-confidence in turn builds your self-worth. And the example that I just gave is this. So when we have low self-efficacy, if I've come to you and I said, hey, look, Shalina, I'd like you to fix this laptop for me. It's a $2,000 laptop. I need it. And the digital screen, the touch screen is broke. I bought a replacement. I'd like you to fix that. Your self-efficacy is at zero. You've never done it before, but maybe you're willing to give it a try. But what's going to keep you from giving it a try is your self-confidence and your self-worth in the ability to fix that laptop. Now you compound that with, it's a $2,000 laptop. I know Dave, so I don't want to break his laptop. Oh, it's his only laptop. You're going to say no. You're going to say, I'm not able to do this. And this is where a lot of us get stuck in life, get stuck in entrepreneurship, get stuck in leadership, is because we have no self-efficacy. In turn, we don't have high self-confidence in X task. And because we don't have high self-confidence in X task, our self-worth revolving around X task is at a low also. Right. But if I came to Shalina and I said, hey, look, I got 5 of these laptops. I bought these new screens. They're not worth anything. I just want to give it a try. They don't work. Shalina might go, sure, I'll give it a try. And then what I said before is you're going to look up on YouTube how to fix this laptop, how to replace the screen. You're going to ask maybe a couple of friends, how do I do this? And when you do that, you build your self-efficacy. You build your ability to do it. Not your self-confidence, your self-efficacy. Now, how do you build your self-confidence? Well, you give it a try and it works. You go, oh, I just replaced 5 of these screens. I gave it a try, it works. And then what else builds your self-confidence? When you give it back to Dave and you go, Dave, hey, look, I fixed all 5 of these and they work perfectly now. You're gonna go, your self-confidence is in. Now when I go, hey, Shalina, thank you for fixing these. Let me give you $1,000 because I really appreciate it. That builds your self-confidence even more. Not your self-efficacy because you did it. And the more you do it, the more your self-efficacy and builds your self-confidence and then your self-worth. Now, where's the self-worth? Well, when I give you $1,000 for doing this, your self-worth bumps up a little bit and you go, okay, what I did was worth something. Now, when this is the big thing, when you do something and it works out, it builds your self-efficacy because you did it. It builds your self-confidence in the ability to do it, which in turn builds your self-worth. What happens when people continue to pay you for what you are doing?
It goes up, it goes up.
All of it starts going up. And now you go, hey, somebody comes to you and says, hey, Shalina, what do you charge to replace these screens on the laptop? I heard you did it for Dave and Bob over here. Can you do it for me? And Shalina goes, yeah, I'll charge you $300 for it. Okay, cool. And that person, you do it, build your self-efficacy because you did it again, build your self-confidence because you were successful in it. Now your self-worth is going to get a bump because somebody paid you $300 for it. Now the next person that comes to you says, hey, I heard you did it for Bob and Dave and Can you do it for me too? And you go, yeah, I charge $600 for it. This is how people go from one level to another. This is how people start coaching people for $200 and they get to 5,000. This is how people get on stage for free to speak and get to charge 5, 10, 20, 30, 50,000 to get on stage for the same speech, because you've built your self-efficacy up. You've built your self-confidence up. You've built your self-worth up. But the antithesis of this, and so I'm going to stop recording after this because this is where we left off, Shalina. The antithesis, the opposite of this, is when you don't do it, when you don't even try, when you back out, when you say, no, I'm not able to, I don't think this is, this is too much. So yes, sometimes you're going to have to just step out on the ledge.
Okay.
All the self-efficacy you can, all the knowledge you can, right? All the how-to you can for X task. But you're gonna have to step out on that ledge, because the self-confidence and the self-worth will not be there until you do it. That's the only way you build self-confidence and self-worth, is by doing it. Self-efficacy gets built by looking at other people doing it, mirroring other people, shadowing other people. Slowly you build that. And then once you start doing it, you build it to where your self-efficacy could be way out here because you've done it 100 million times. But you have to step out on that ledge and try.
Yes.
You have anything to say to that before I stop recording, Shalina?
Light bulb was going off when you were mentioning that. It brought me back to reality of I've never had the prior credentials of being an advisor, but I was hired for this role. And I basically pulled on a lot of my past experience, and I attended so many training sessions. I'm still in training mode, but now this semester, I'm actually stepping into the role of an advisor by basically recalling what training and shadowing I did with the other seasoned advisors, and I'm now getting the flow of it. And so I'm so glad you said that, David, because it brought me back to, you know what? We never know how to ride a bike until we try to ride a bike.
Yeah.
We never know how to drive a car or really do anything in life until we try. And it's bring me back, because this is the stuff I also tell my advisees, just keep trying, just keep going. So, and for me, my life, that was the story of my life. I had to fall hundreds of times, but I had to keep getting up and going. And so this is definitely not a time to just be like, oh, I can't do it, or I can't. I have to clear that away, because I've had other stuff happen in the past and that has kept me from progressing forward. And I'm in a new season of, you know what, I got to try. I got to be the change I want to see. I got to be the difference I want to see. So thank you so much, Dave, for bringing me back to reality.
You're welcome. Let me just summarize real quick, because I want to make sure that people understand self-efficacy. The knowledge of doing something is what builds these other things. And so this is why I tell everyone that's young, everyone that steps into a leadership position, everyone that starts something for the first time, build that knowledge. Go figure out, right? If you're a beginning speaker, the last thing I'm going to tell you to do is go get a free speaking gig or go speak somewhere. The first thing that I'm going to do is say, let's practice. Let's write the speech out. Let's do bullet points. Let's figure out your speaking style and get your self-efficacy up to where when you try it, you don't fall flat on your face. Because guess what happens when you do? If you're not prepared, if you didn't do the homework and you go take the test and you fail, you're going to fall flat on your face, and then it plummets your self-confidence and of course your self-worth in X area. I'm not talking about everything in life, in X area, right? And so we all want to step into leadership positions and we don't know how to lead. And this is one way that I try to advise all my clients is to build your self-efficacy, build your ability to do X, Y, Z. All right, so I'm gonna stop recording and we're gonna continue.